Hey guys, today we started a new topic and we are learning all about unit rates. Our success criteria for this is I can use what I know about ratios and rates to find unit rates. I can find and use unit rates to solve real world problems. Well, there might be a word on here we don't know. We probably know ratios and rates because we covered that in sixth grade. But what is a unit rate? A unit rate is a ratio used to compare quantities in which the second quantity is 1. So that sounds like a fancy definition. But things like that we see every day are miles per hour. For example, this is a picture of somebody going 57 miles per hour. That means in 1 hour, so the quantity is 1, they will go how many miles? 57. Another example you might see is cost per pound. You see this all the time at the store. It's a unit rate, so you see this meat is $9.38 per pound. It's 1.8 pounds, so the total is $17.26. But the unit rate is the cost per the 1 pound. So if it was 1 pound, it would be $9.38. So here's some examples of finding unit rates and why they're important to be able to find. Example 1, Nathan and Dan were both hired as lifeguards for the summer. They received their paychecks for the first week. Who earns more per hour? So Dan, he works 9 hours and earns $72. Nathan works 5 hours and earns $45. Well, right now, obviously Dan made more money overall, but he also worked longer. So we're going to see who makes more per hour. To do that, we write their pay as a ratio. So Nathan, he made $45 to 5 hours. So we write it as 45 to 5, $45 for 5 hours. Dan's pay was $72 for 9 hours, 72 to 9. So how much does each person make for 1 hour? Well, I would have to divide by 5 because it's 5 hours. So if I do this, I would divide 5 by 5 to get 1. That means since ratios and fractions are very related, we do the same thing we would if we're finding equivalent fractions as we are finding equivalent ratios. So 45 divided by 5, and 45 divided by 5 is 9. So Nathan makes $9 per 1 hour, or $9 per hour. Dan, we'd have to divide this ratio by 9. So 9 split, so we're trying to find out for 1 hour. So 9 divided by 9 is 1. We'd have to divide 72 divided by 9. 72 divided by 9 is 8. So he makes $8 for 1 hour. So he makes 8 per hour. So going back to our original question, who earns more per hour? Well, I think Nathan earns more per hour because he makes, even though he made less money because he worked less time, he makes more per hour, $9. So this was the example we did in class today. I'll go through this quickly. It was $135 for 15 hours. And so we filled this out, our equivalent ratio here. We divide by 15 and 15, just like we did on the last slide. 135 divided by 15 ended up being 9. So she makes the same as Nathan, $9 per hour. This is a different problem where we would find the unit rate and then use the unit rate to find different amounts of days. So for instance, we're given a couple rates here. So Brian agrees to watch his neighbor's dogs for 7 days. His neighbor provides a 128-ounce bag of dog food. Does Brian have enough food to feed the dogs all 7 days? Well, we're going to have to find this out. So Buster eats 21 ounces in 2 days. Roxy eats 24 ounces in 3 days. So we're going to have to find out how much each dog eats in 1 day and then multiply that number by the whole week, by 7 days. So we take 21 and we write it as a ratio. So 21 ounces to 2 days. And I'll do the same thing for the other dog. 24 ounces in 3 days. Now we have to find out how much each dog eats in 1 day. So I want the equivalent ratio to be the unit rate per 1 day. And so I have to divide by 2. 2 and 2. So 2 divided by 2 is that 1 day. 21 divided by 2, well, it's not going to come out evenly, but we can still work with decimals. So that's going to be 10.5 ounces per day. Same thing I'm going to have to do over here for this dog. So 24 ounces I want for 1 day, but instead of dividing by 2, I'm going to divide by 3 because it was per 3 days. So 24 divided by 3 is 8 ounces for 1 day. So you can see right here who eats more per day. So this dog eats 10.5 ounces for 1 day. This dog eats 8 ounces for 1 day. Now that's not the question. The question does he have enough food to feed the dogs for all 7 days? Well, now that we know how much they eat in 1 day, we can just multiply the amount of ounces by 7. And we're going to continue using that unit rate as a ratio. So 10.5 to 1 day. We want to know how much that dog eats in 7 days. And so we're going to have to multiply by 7 by 7. And 7 times 10 is 70, and 7 times 0.5 is 3.5, so it ends up being 73.5 ounces for that 7 days. Now let's do the other dog. That dog, 8 ounces for 1 day is the unit rate, and we want to know how much it eats in that whole week. So that's 7 days. So we multiply by 7. 8 times 7 is 56. Okay, so we have the totals that they're going to eat all week. Now we still have to combine them and see if he has enough food for that week. So we're just going to go down and we're going to add those ounces. So 73.5 ounces plus 56. I'm going to say 0.0 just so I can keep my decimals lined up. And that is going to equal 129.5 ounces. So the question is, does he have enough to feed the dogs all 7 days if he has 128? No, he does not. He's going to need some more ounces. This is giving us practice using the unit rate to find any amount of days, right? So we could find out how much food they eat after 2 weeks or 3 weeks or a whole month, even a whole year if we multiplied it by 365. But using that unit rate, we can find all sorts of problems. The last one we're going to go through here is just a different example. Lowest price. This is another way we would use unit rate. You'll see all this kind of stuff all the time in stores. So I'll go through this just pretty quickly. So we're going to find the unit rate for each of these. So we want to know the price per ounce. Which package has the lowest cost per ounce of rice? This is $6.30 per 18. And we're going to want to know, what is it for 1 ounce? The blue bag is $4.56 per 12 ounces. And again, we want to know for 1 ounce, the unit rate. And last, the smallest bag is $2.59 per 7 ounces. We want to know for 1 ounce. So now that I've got all my ratios set up, I can just go back through each of these and divide. So the first one, I'm going to divide $6.30 by 18. And you guys are smart. You guys have your Chromebooks and your calculators. I would just do $6.30 divided by 18. And you would get that it is 0.35, which means 35 cents per 1 ounce. For the blue package, you could do the same thing. $4.56. Divide that by 12. That's going to give you that this one is 38 cents per 1 ounce. And then last, the green bag is $2.59. And we're dividing that by 7. So this one is 37 cents per ounce. All right, so all I did was divide by this number, and this number to get my unit rate. Now, looking at which one is the cheapest, we can easily see the 35 cents per 1 ounce. The biggest bag is the cheapest. So the package that has the lowest cost per ounce of rice is the 18-ounce package. You get the most rice for the least amount of money. So we're using what we know about ratios and using what we know about rates to find the unit rate, which again is the price per 1 unit. So for 1 ounce, for 1 hour, for one of anything, I can find and use unit rates to solve real world problems. So yeah, what's the best buy? Real world problems. What's going to be the best? What's going to be the best deal? So hopefully in your practice today and from our Zoom meeting earlier, you'll have a pretty good understanding of what you are supposed to do on the assignment.